I do know where it is. It's with David Dyson. I have his bag. Going to California. Bye, baby boy. Lots of rushing. Been in the office now for 4 hours, and I think that I am finally ready to go to the airport. It's like 11, flight leaves at 12:45. Yeah, we'll be good. I'm actually fairly notorious for missing flights. I'm a lot better than I used to be. I'm right now at the airport. It's 11:36 and my flight doesn't take off till 12:45, which is pretty good for myself. There was one time when I missed 2 flights in one day. That was my record. I just got to the airport late because I always try to cram in as much as possible before my flights. So like this flight, for example, I worked at the office for like over 4 hours before I got here because I'm like, great, I don't leave till midday. I can squeeze in as much work as possible. And then I just leave late. Oh, I did this probably a couple of years ago, and I got to the airport late and it was just too late for my flight. So when I got past security, I just went to the desk where they rebook you, and I got rebooked in a flight. Well, I was flying to Baltimore, and my rebooking was to fly into DC. So they're like an hour away. So I was gonna have to get there and then drive an hour, which is okay. But it was better than flying into Baltimore like much later. So as I'm waiting for my new flight into DC, I get notifications from the earlier flight that I was on that it's delayed. And I'm like, I wonder if I could actually go and still make that flight. So I leave my gate and I go to that flight, which is of course in a different terminal, because I'd rather fly into the right airport and not have to drive an hour. And unfortunately, the plane had already boarded. So the delay was that they were taxiing on the runway for a long time. It hadn't like taken off, but it wasn't like delayed where I could like get a seat back and board that flight. So then as I came back to board my new rebooked flight into DC, I missed that flight as I approached the gate. It was empty and the flight had taken off. And I just was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that twice. So I went back to the counter. I was like, I need another ticket. She was like, okay. She gave it to me. And then I went to my next gate and I sat there and I didn't move. And I literally at one point had to go to the bathroom and I was like, I'm not going. And I boarded that flight and I made it to Baltimore. So let's go try to make this one, huh?
You held me down, but I let go. Couldn't stop the rain. And every day I felt the same. But beyond the horizon, away sunny days, I'm thinking about you, I'm thinking about you. I can't wait for California. I've been waiting for you. Wanna know now. California.
So I made it to work and I went in for my meeting right off the bat and I wanted to change my shoes. And so I went in my suitcase. It was not my suitcase. What are the chances that somebody else on my flight has the exact same suitcase? Oh yeah, it's probably the most common suitcase actually. I bought it purple so that it was hard to mix up with other suitcases. And it was obviously put in just about the same spot. So now I have this guy's suitcase and he's got mine. And his name is David Dyson. I have his name, but I don't actually have any of his information. And before you ask, no, I did not put any of my information on my suitcase. So David Dyson, if you're one of the 26 people that watch my videos, we gotta switch back because I have no use for your stuff and you have no use for. I went to Walmart and I did a Walmart haul. Right. And I just basically got a bunch of toiletries and makeup. All my makeup. So, you know, I got some new stuff for tomorrow. That reminds me of the time that I almost lost my suitcase in Vegas. So, one time I was flying from Albuquerque to Philly, and I needed to have a full day of work in Albuquerque and a full day of work in Philly. So I was like, I have to fly at night. I hate taking red eyes. The only way that I could really make it a red eye is literally go from Albuquerque to Phoenix to Vegas. 3 flights. 4 at night. And then I realized when I was on the plane to Vegas and in Vegas, quite a party city. And I knew that. But like I forgot that the airport in Vegas is a party airport. And the flights into Vegas, especially at night, like that doesn't matter what time of day, the flights into Vegas are like party planes. So I got a little bit tipsy at the flight into Vegas, and then I landed in Vegas and I continued to drink some wine, some red wine, a little bit tipsy. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's probably good, you know, then I can like board this plane to Philly and I can make sure that, you know, I just sleep the whole way through. And sleep I did. And I realized I don't know where my carry-on bag is. I had my purse, but I don't know where my carry-on with all my clothes is. And it's not that I didn't have it or that I thought I didn't have it. I was like, I just don't know where it is. And I don't know if I left it in the airport. I don't know if I checked it. You know how sometimes the plane gets full and they make you check it? I don't know if it's a check plane sign or if it's a check like go get it in baggage claim. I don't know if it's literally in the overhead bin in front of me. So as we land and I'm realizing, oh my gosh, I don't know where my bag is. I'm like literally in the second row. So I don't really have that much of an option or time to really think about this or look for my bag either, right? So like if I get up and I look for my bag and I don't see it, and then I'm like, I guess it's not here. And then I just walk off the plane. All the people who just watched me do that, that's going to be so funny, right? Like, who is like, oh, not here. So I didn't know what to do. So I did kind of like one of these moves, like a get out of the chair and like a long look around. Oh, stretching my neck. And I did not see it. So then when I went off the plane, there was very few people that had gone. So if there was like a line to retrieve your bag's plane sign, I wouldn't really know yet. But there wasn't anybody there. So I was like, okay, so maybe it didn't get checked plane sign. And then I just went down to baggage claim. And eventually I did find it at baggage claim. So apparently I had checked my bag. But this time I should be so lucky. 1, I was sober, not as fun. And 2, I did not end up finding it. I do know where it is. It's with David Dyson. I have his bag. Well, and I will say that the people at the meeting, as we were kind of all realizing this was happening, because I unzipped my bag right there, they were like, you are taking this surprisingly so well. Like, you just seem to be in really good spirits, even though you just potentially lost all your stuff. I was glad to hear that said. It just kept in true testament that I'm applying, you know, making sure that I know that this is a really good situation. If I'm going to apply my own advice, then I have to know that this is super, super good. I don't know why. I just know that it's great. whatever good can come of it is a screen. I don't even need to think about the how. And so I know that it's really good. I mean, look, I already got, so cheers to my trip to California so far. Walmart clothing. And, you know, I did buy an outfit for tomorrow. So we're good there. And tomorrow night I'm taking a red eye. But I will not make the same mistake as last time. Good night.